recently online, there's been a lot of debate about who should make the Premier League all-time 11 on the right wing. And obviously, as Liverpool fans, we'd say Mohamed Salah, but there's been a lot of talk about whether Cristiano Ronaldo's time at Man United should earn him a place in the 11. Now, I don't think any of us would deny that Ronaldo was great at Manchester United, but, I feel like there's a bit too much disrespect being thrown about Mohamed Salah's name. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on whether you think Salah should be in the 11 ahead of Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the starting point for this is not an attempt to do Cristiano Ronaldo down. I mean, one of the greatest players of all time. He might be, for me, I've always been a Lionel Messi fan. I don't think there's any debate for me amongst who is the greatest of all time. But I think Ronaldo's in that group just behind him. There's, in terms of goal scoring, done it in multiple different leagues. So I would never attempt to kind of do down his legacy anywhere in any way. But I think if we are talking about Premier League legacy, for me, surely Mohamed Salah's is greater. We were fortunate enough to have Cristiano Ronaldo in this league for a long time, but it was at the kind of nearer the start of his career when he wasn't that goal scoring machine. He was a fabulous player for Manchester United and a massive part of the many titles that he won there, but maybe not anywhere near his kind of peak that he ended up reaching at Real Madrid. And so, whereas I think we've seen the best of Mohamed Salah has all come in the Premier League, hasn't it? And I mean, you can look at the numbers really from it. I mean, I think Cristiano Ronaldo only had one season where he went above 20 Premier League goals for Manchester United, whereas Mohamed Salah, I think, has had 5. So in terms of the Premier League legacy, I just don't think there's a question, really. As I say, we've seen the best of Mohamed Salah in this league. We didn't really see that with Cristiano Ronaldo. And so for me, if you're picking someone on that right-hand side, I think it has to be Salah, because the only thing you maybe could have held against Salah, I think, at any point in this debate was, how many Premier League titles has he won? Or that's the question in terms of his greatness overall. But he's obviously going to get a second now, isn't he? Which is as many as Thierry Henry, who I don't think anybody would have any problems putting in that all-time 11, would they? So, for me, I think Mohamed Salah is the greatest right winger in Premier League history. I don't think there's really a debate there. Whereas, you could have the debate about whether, in terms of an all-time 11 across all the leagues. Obviously, if Salah went to La Liga now, he wouldn't touch Ronaldo's legacy there. But in terms of just purely looking at the Premier League, Salah has scored more goals, he's been here longer, and just being a better player during his years in the Premier League for me.
Do you get the sense that he is disrespected? Because it's a lot of the time when people talk about where he ranks in terms of all-time legends in the Premier League, it feels like there's always a certain caveat that people throw at him. And I don't think that, for me personally, I don't think that's fair. So I wanted to ask you, what more do you think Salah has to do to, say, solidify his legacy amongst, because Liverpool fans know where he ranks, but other fans and other pundits maybe aren't as maybe forthcoming in their praises?
I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that he maybe hasn't won as much as he should have, which is absolutely nothing to do with him, by the way. The Liverpool missing out on 2 Premier League titles by a point is very, very unfortunate in terms of what that's done to his legacy. Losing in 2 Champions League finals, obviously one of them he goes off in, and one of them he's extremely unlucky in as well, because Liverpool dominate that game. So, those fine margins go in his favour. And I think I think his legacy is, people are kind of talking about one of the greatest players of all time. But unfortunately, those team honours, and we shouldn't allow those team honours to cloud the debate around him. He just is. It's just a fact. He is one of the greatest. And I think people try and bring in other elements to try and look at him, but he scores against all the big teams. He always has. He's the highest goal scorer against Manchester United of all time. He's got all these things behind him. He scores in literally every game. So the only thing you could say is, well, he hasn't got enough winners' medals, but he is going to get that extra Premier League title. So I think that should help him out in terms of that. Because, like I say, it's as many as Henry, who we do not doubt his legacy at all. So maybe that will be helpful. And if you could add another one next season, if you could get one more Champions League title before he leaves Liverpool again, maybe that will just solidify him in people's minds. But I think mostly, let's be honest, a lot of it is kind of down to rival supporters trying to do down legends of each other's clubs, and we see a lot of nonsense on social media like that, and I think a lot of it's best disregarded. I think for anyone who speaks any sense, there's no doubt really about where Mohamed Salah stands in terms of the list of Premier League greats, and it's right up there.